Today on the channel, the latest cool toy that we're going to be taking a look at is the latest release from New Wave Toys and the Replicade line. This is the Space Ace cabinet. Specifically, this is their conversion edition. They have the dedicated standard Space Ace cabinet that was made specifically for that game. And then there's the conversion one, which was probably the most common one seen out in the arcades, where they took an existing Dragon's Lair, reskinned it, and then lo and behold, you got a new Space Ace cabinet. So let's go ahead and check it out. The machine, of course, like I said, has the aesthetic of a Dragon's Lair cabinet. We got some red trim around the sides, which is nice. Goes well with the color spectrum of Space Ace. Of course, you play Mr. Dexter here. As with all New Wave toys, premium materials used throughout, so real wood cabinet, nice actual vinyl graphic along the sides. Everything is nice and bright. We got matte finish on the side, which is good. We have the real metal coin door with the light up LEDs. You push these buttons to insert your credits. If you're not familiar with these Replicade machines, they are a 1/6 scale arcade cabinet that is fully functional. So it's not just a great display piece, but it actually can be used and played and enjoyed. The control panel art, everything looks good. No spelling errors on any of the text. We've got 3 light up volcano buttons. If you're not familiar with Space Ace, you have to choose your difficulty basically. So you've got, hard, medium, and easy mode. Just fair warning, if you want to see the complete game and every animation there is, you will have to pick the hardest setting, which is cool because you can go in and change settings and add unlimited lives to help you complete this game. But if you're playing on medium or easy, you will never see all of the animations in this game. Even if you beat the game, you won't see all the extra added scenes that are in the hard mode. So keep that in mind. You got player 1, player 2 over there, and of course your joystick, and then your energize / action / fire buttons on left hand and right hand side, just like Dragon's Lair. Plays just like Dragon's Lair. To note on this one, this is not a CRT lensed machine, so New Wave Toys has been experimenting with the Replicade line to add a little lens over their LCD monitor that makes it look like an old school CRT. This one does not have that. It's just a flat, beautiful, vibrant LCD screen. We also have the matrix display up top where you actually have a recorded score. You got 2 faux speakers, but that is not where the sound comes out. The sound comes out of the 2 actual speakers here on the back. We also have our power switch, our volume wheel up and down, USB-C charging. We have 2 USB ports, so you can have 2 USB controllers plugged in, your HDMI out, because you can essentially make this a functional console. You plug this in, you have your output display, and you plug it into your controllers, and lo and behold, you're playing Space Ace on a big screen TV. We also have the killer detail that New Wave Toys goes above and beyond. You open this compartment, and just like their Dragon's Lair release, we get a miniaturized laser disc complete with a space for a disc. And you're like, wow, that's amazing. I can't believe they would do that, I mean, it really is above and beyond that they would even include that, because obviously these games were made to be played on the Laserdisc system. They weren't your standard arcade PCB hardware. But the fact that New Wave Toys, goes to that detail, gives you a compartment, gives you a little faux Laserdisc, and not only that, gives you all sorts of added accessories with that. So you get your Laserdisc game that, of course, you can slide in there, place on the Laserdisc player, and then lo and behold, you're good to go. I'm just going to put that in there for compartment, keepsake. Other accessories, we also have this beautiful Princess Daphne sticker from Dragon's Lair, so you can put that anywhere you want, on your laptop, your Dragon's Lair machine. We also, of course, have our Space Ace user manual that is made to look like the actual operator's manuals that would come with these arcade games back in the day. Fine cardstock, print, everything, but it gives you a look at the differences between the conversion cabinet and the dedicated cabinet with Space Ace. Like I said, I'm more partial to the conversion cabinet myself. That's what I always saw in the arcades. I never actually saw a dedicated Space Ace cabinet, so to me they were much more rare, but I grew up with the Dragon's Lair design and Space Ace being converted into it, so that's what I wanted out of the 2. We also get this awesome promotional one sheet for the Space Ace arcade game. Comes in this nice little envelope. Other accessories, we've got different colored ball tops that you can put on the joystick, so you just unscrew that, and you can choose between black, purple, blue, or yellow. And as with all Replicades, we get these tiny, tiny, tiny quarters. It's a great accessory, but you actually don't put them in the machine to add credits or anything. Like I said, you push those buttons. And we have, last but not least, our USB-C charging cable. Get into our menu options. We'll go ahead and hold these coin door buttons down for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And then we have our options. We'll go over and cover that now. In the menu settings, we can change our screen brightness. So the default's around 180. Maxes out up here to 255. And then lowest it goes is 20. So put it back down to the default. Game audio, so if you want it coming out of the Replicade speakers or if you want it going HDMI out. Track mode audio, self-explanatory. You can bump the lives up to unlimited, so you can make sure you definitely finish the game, which for newcomers would be great. You can turn the marquee light on and off, and then you can turn on and off the screen blinking, which is a feature inside the game that kind of helps people complete and or learn to anticipate what's coming up next. So go ahead and leave that off, and that is your menu options. So we've got the cabinet hooked up to a LCD TV here via HDMI, and as you can see, we've got the display on the television as well as the monitor, which is actually a new thing for the New Wave Toys Replicades. Even the machines that have HDMI out previously, once you connect them to a TV, you no longer got a display on the game. But with Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, Dragon's Lair 2, they were prominently, typically found in arcades with a secondary monitor on top. That way people could spectate and watch others play the game. So this makes sense. So you can now play the game on a big screen TV, you can still see the game on the screen, and you can play it a variety of different ways. So I can still play it on here with the joystick and the controls, still seeing an output and display on a TV as well as the machine itself, or I can connect the USB controller, play it that way as well. So again, you can have the spectator mode. It's easier for friends to see you playing the game, as well as easier to play the game if you got bad vision or something like that and the small screen is just too small for you. One thing to note as far as controlling the audio, so I went into the settings, turned it to audio HDMI out. If I'm trying to turn the volume up on the TV, it doesn't matter if I'm turning it up all the way, it won't matter. You'll control the volume still on the back of the machine with the volume wheel. So go ahead and just show you what it looks like. I'm going to die really quick because honestly, I'm much better at Dragon's Lair than I am Space Ace. It's been many years since I memorized these movesets, so a couple coins in there. We'll pick easy just because we're trying to, just test it. All right, now we'll go easy. And I'll play over here with the joystick. Oh, I died. Good old Borf. And when it's all said and done, it looks like, yet again, New Wave Toys knocks this out of the park. It's an amazing machine, as with all the Replicades. Like I said, I'm addicted to these things. I've bought and gotten every single one they've released to date. I love collecting these. I love that they keep getting bigger, better, badder as far as features, functions, and it's just amazing that, like I said, the detail, the lengths they go to make sure that this thing is as close to, the original machine as they possibly can. They're always collector friendly. Like I said, they always put a box within a box within a box for their packaging, so you make sure you get a pristine machine each and every time from them. So definitely, if you have an opportunity, if you can find any of these in stock, I highly recommend getting them while the getting's good, because they almost always sell out very, very quickly, and then you have to pay those 2-3 times eBay prices just because you missed the boat on it. So if you're a big fan of Dragon's Lair, obviously this is a no-brainer. Space Ace is the spiritual sequel before, they took a several-year gap and actually released Time Warp Dragon's Lair 2. But you got to have the trilogy. I'm looking forward to them obviously going down that same rabbit hole and releasing Dragon's Lair 2. That way we can have all 3 machines lined up in a row. Whether you want the conversion machine or the dedicated machine, you can't go wrong either way. Definitely check them out. Congratulations, New Wave Toys, on another amazing release.